Games are hard. I mean, difficult. You really don't have to think about anything filthy all the time. Difficult. Games are difficult. For many, all the games are difficult. Once in a while, there comes the game that is more difficult than others. It was your Demon Souls, your Dark Souls, or all of your Souls-likes and all of the other games that incited challenge. People wanted to complete this because it was challenging. But once in a while also comes games that are just difficult because of how grandiose in scope they are. Because they have way too many different mechanics. That is practically impossible for the average people to remember. Once in a while comes the games that is so difficult and so complicated that the game does not take off despite being everything that people are asking for. But shouldn't be vice versa? Shouldn't be the game that gives you more popular? Well, it turns out it's not. And this one game made a few big mistakes. And probably the biggest mistake that it made, that harmed it the most, was to listen to its gamers. Because this game just was giving everything that gamers ever wanted. And now it suffers from it. Because you cannot do all of those things for free. And now gamers think that if you don't pay up, you're getting very subpar experience. And I don't blame gamers thinking that. But despite that, this game is the best game in its genre. And the genre is sci-fi. And there are no games in this genre that can top it on its sheer grandiose and amount of freedom and things that you can do in this game. Let's now talk about why it is failing because of that. Oh yeah, and we're talking about Stellaris, my favorite game of all time. Before you're gonna jump with the pitchfork telling me, what do you mean nobody can play this game? I'm playing this game. Well, this game is played by much less people than it should have been, because this game is amazing. But as the time will continue, you will see less and less and less new gamers jumping on board. Mainly the people playing this game will be the older gamers who played this game on launch and just revisiting it, or that are playing it right now. But why though? And to understand this, let me explain what this game is. Stellaris is a 4X space strategy game, or rather space grand strategy game, from masterful creators Paradox Interactive. This game is a sci-fi fantasy incarnate. You're creating the race of your own starting in the 23rd century, and you're free to do whatever you want in this huge galaxy. When I say that you are free to do whatever you want, you're literally free to do whatever you want, because you can play this strategy game in whatever way the strategy game can be played. If you want to play with fanatic zealots that all they want is to spread their religion to all the galaxy and all the species, you can. If you want to play with the hive mind of ant-like people that want to spread and devour entire galaxy, you can. If you want to play with a benevolent race that all that cares about is just uplifting all the smaller races and taking care of them, well, you can. If you care only about exploration and what this galaxy can actually give you and want to play just like that, you can. If you want to play as an Emperor Palpatine, well, you can. And in many cases, literally you can. Game is giving you to set up your race and your empire in whatever way you want. Even giving access different to individuals' personalities that can affect your empire in different ways. Want to play this game as an espionage thriller? You can. Want to play this game as a political simulator? You can. Want to dominate everyone with your military? You can. Want to control all the economic routes? You can. And all of these mechanics have been developing since 2016, and more mechanics have been added in this game. But because of that, the game kinda suffers. You see, since 2016, game has improved and changed so much that this is a completely different game compared to what it was on release. And there have been so many additions that it might overwhelm any average gamer. And they won't be wrong thinking that. Well, not wrong thinking that, but the reality is a bit different. They would think that game is so big and so massive and it's way too late to jump on board, especially when they see the list of DLCs. And yeah, we're gonna talk about DLCs in a second. But they will be kind of wrong. They will be right thinking that, but they will be wrong factually. Because in reality, this game is not as complicated as it might seem. Because the game does an excellent job in explaining most of the mechanics, and when it does not do an excellent job explaining mechanics, the YouTubers and entire YouTube channels built around them does an excellent job in doing that. But let's address the biggest elephant in the room, and let's address why most people actually think that this game is, well, way too big and way too complicated for them to play. And it is the list of DLCs. Because when you go into the list of DLCs in this game, you will see a few dozen massive add-ons and DLCs. And you might think that, oh, if I will play this game right now, I need to get all those DLCs. And if I won't, I'm gonna get a subpar experience, only a half-baked experience, which they will be wrong about. First things first, let's address the bad thing, the DLCs and its prices. Because the DLC pricing is massive. In order to get Stellaris Ultimate Bundle that contains all the DLCs that is out for now at the moment of the recording this video, You will need more than $250 on its full price and still more than $100 on a discount. This is insane price to ask for the game that you don't know anything about. Does this mean that you have to pay this much money? Absolutely not. You have to be insane to pay this much money for the game that you have not played at all. So what's the best way to go with this game? Well, just get a base game. Base game is a full experience. It's not cut down, dumbed down experience, full experience of which you can get only through DLCs. It is not. DLCs are meant to expand the mechanics, just make the things that are already in the game more fleshed out and bigger. It doesn't mean that you will not see some mechanics in the game. You will see all of them because game is not upgraded just to DLCs. It's been upgraded to free patches as well. Because if you're gonna take the version 1.0 that came out in 2016 and compare it to the latest version, for me it's with version 3.8, you will think that there are two completely different games because it's that different. So thinking this game is overly complicated is wrong. You just need to get the base game, see if you like the base game, play it for a few dozen hours first, and then think about the expansions. And you don't even need to get all of them. You can get only the base ones or the few ones that you are expanding game elements that you think is important, at least at first, and then add one by one by one by one, or just find the great bargains everywhere. If you're not playing this game because you see the price of Ultimate Edition or see the number of DLCs, you are doing yourself a disservice. This is the best, in my opinion, the best sci-fi game ever. Yes, it's a strategy. Yes, it feels complicated, but the amount of stories, just stories and storylines and quest lines that you can do in this strategy game. Yes, you have quests in this game is insane. You can infect entire galaxy by just playing through these amazing stories and uncovering all the lore and interesting facts about this galaxy. And by the way, the galaxy is different every single time, so you will never know with whom you will be playing every single time. And I'm not even talking about the multiplayer. And also with an added ability to play with the multiple different players with a single race. So if you're not playing this game because you think that it's way too complicated, please don't do that. Go and play it right now because you are going to love it. Our YouTube memberships are up and running. And if you like videos done by me and if you like the reviews that I put out and everything else as well, consider hitting the join button near the subscribe button under this video. This might not be a lot for you, at least for some of you, but it will be tremendous help for me keeping this channel going. Well, this is Pete for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you like, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.